The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. From the heart of Broadway in historic downtown Cape Girardeau, this is Pro Wrestling Unscripted. We're just a couple of weeks away from Christmas. That means hello December, goodbye November, you schmuck. It's Podzilla 1985, Pro Wrestling Unscripted. Allie's already showing people stuff. What are we doing?
Super Santa.
We passing notes around the table?
It's fine. I misspelled a basic thing because I'm an idiot.
Santa.
Did you say Super Santa?
Yeah, apparently.
Super Santa's awesome.
That's a new
Much
move.
better.
That's
or was it Soup or Santa?
It's that Netflix special.
Why does Santa have to be secret? Why can't he just come out as gay?
Why?
Well, it was an SNL joke. I didn't write it. Cecily Strong. I love her. My name is Shannon Young. I'll be your host tonight for Pro Wrestling Unscripted, which has nothing to do with SNL. Down at the end of the table, Asa Gray, the 5-star man.
We're changing the format.
It's all SNL now?
Yeah.
We're reporting on
Pro
last
Wrestling
week's episode.
Unscripted, the weekly Saturday Night Live recap podcast.
It was a pretty good episode last week with Claire Foy. I will say that. A couple of skits I really enjoyed. The Home Shopping Network and the where the soldiers riding home. I love that one. Cracked me up. Allie A. Barrett, am I right?
Hello.
Who is still drawing bears despite the fact that she no longer needs to.
It's habit at this point.
Yeah.
We don't know what's happening behind
Lots
us here
of
on
noises
Broadway.
this week.
Yeah. Dogs
It's
are barking. There are sirens going off.
You can hear
DMX is still in jail.
just
Confirmed.
laying on the horn all the way down. Oh, multiple sirens.
So off topic, but have you ever been in a building or
We didn't even
something like
start a
this
topic.
and you hear the sirens pop up behind you like that and you keep thinking to yourself, this could be the zombie apocalypse. This could be the time. I'm going to go outside and the streets are going to be, Jesus.
I kind of want to go see what's happening.
Two
Yeah,
fire trucks and an ambulance.
Yeah, something's definitely happening behind us, but we're here to talk about wrestling. The real world matters not to us. So tonight on Pro Wrestling Unscripted, we got a lot to talk about, some sad news, some encouraging news, and let's start off with the sad news. Dynamite Kid passed away, was it today or yesterday officially? Trying to remember exactly.
It was either this morning or yesterday morning because I remember
And the
it was
big D,
like,
Dalton Anthony.
Yo!
because I remember
I was just going to look at you until you acknowledged it.
I saw you over there and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, no, he passed away this morning, I'm pretty
it was
sure.
this because
Okay.
I remember like it was one of the first things I saw when I pulled up my computer at work. Because instead of like going into any of the systems I need to use or checking my work email, I'd go up to like Reddit Squared Circle and
Oh, yeah, see what's going on.
see what's happening.
Yeah. He was, of course, one half of the British Bulldogs with
Yep.
Davey Boy Smith, who also passed away a couple of years ago.
No, he passed away like 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's sometimes because Eddie's been gone for what, like 10 years, I think, at this
Over
point.
10.
It's very, very sad. Dynamite Kid was a revolutionary wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude was legit. Sorry, and the British Bulldogs were one of my favorite tag teams of all time. Until they saddled him with like Matilda and I'm getting the middle finger from Dalton.
Yeah.
So apparently Matilda was solid. You liked Matilda?
Yeah, I love Matilda.
Nothing says we're a dangerous tag team like bringing out a little bulldog.
Yes, it does. We are this
Please explain.
We are this weird to bring a dog with us everywhere we go.
Dogs in wrestling have never worked out.
No, all right.
Remember what
Matilda
happened to
did.
Pepper?
Is it-
She got cooked.
He did.
Remember the dog kennel from Hell match?
Hell yeah.
Someone like it was just recently. Like someone was pointing out that Boss Man was involved in some of the just wildest moments.
He really was. One of our favorite jokes from the early days of Pro Wrestling Unscripted was to talk about when he rode the casket of Big Show's daddy.
Big daddies.
Big daddies. We're killing it.
We are sorry. Or is
Yeah,
no.
so not only did he die today, it was this morning, it was his birthday.
Yes, I did know that.
Aw.
I think he was 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which blew my mind. No offense to him. I thought he was older than that. I really did. I thought he was probably in his late 60s.
I'm terrible at gauging anyone's age.
True.
So especially if it's someone who I'm used to seeing.
So is James Ellsworth.
It's another siren coming.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening out there, man. It's bad. I think they're coming to take us away because of these jokes. Just me, though. You guys are solid. But yeah, Dynamite Kid passed away on his birthday. I know we're joking around, but that is kind of how we cope with like all of the terrible things that always seem to happen.
I opened up my Facebook this morning, like right when I woke up, and it was the first thing I saw, and it bummed me out because like Dynamite Kid is legit he is very much just the blueprint of the wrestling that I like. He was an amazing technical wrestler.
Yeah.
go back and watch any of his stuff with Tiger Mask.
Also built like a tank.
Yeah,
Built like a little tank.
like and
Very kind of Benoit-ish in his look.
and was a flyer.
Yeah.
Like he was one of the first guys to really utilize aerial offense like as well as he did.
He was a great partner to Davey Boy Smith, who was such a power wrestler. Yeah.
But here's the thing: they were both built like brick shit houses.
They were.
Just one was bigger than the other.
It's true. But it's like saying, slamming your hand in a door is as bad as something else that's bad. I don't know.
No,
I'm distracted.
Do you want to punch a concrete wall or a cement wall?
Concrete.
It's the same thing. The wall might just be shorter.
That
No, I was gonna say, do you
rhetorical.
want a 10-foot wall? Do you want to hit a 10-foot wall or a 5-foot wall?
Oh shit!
You're
Thank
just-
you.
Not that he was 5 foot.
Or 10 foot.
Davey Boy wasn't 10 foot either.
No, Davey Boy was.
Was he?
Yeah, he was
that his,
10
well, but was that his build height or was that his actual height?
was build
Was
height.
it his shoot height?
It was build height, yeah. Because I believe
Pew pew.
Andre the Giant was built as what, 8 foot 12?
Shooter McGavin.
Did you say Shooter McGavin?
Oh, I hate you guys.
Love it.
Y'all, $1 for the pre-show. Some of my best work.
True.
It's just this pre-show alone is worth $1.
Certainly better than what we do when the show starts.
It's very true.
Yeah,
It's because I can't say
You
word
can.
Ace of Grey right now.
you can. Anyway, so we have a lot of wrestling friends obviously, because we work very extensively with Stride Pro Wrestling, Cape Championship Wrestling, and a lot of those guys all day have just been putting out, rest in peace messages and tributes, and it's very, very touching to see how the whole wrestling community comes together when something bad happens. It's really heartwarming.
And it's one of those things like it's
a family thing, really.
I mean, no, it is. But what I was getting at is like it's a bummer with the way a lot of that ended with like
Dynamite Kid's last few years,
I mean, not last few
not
years.
even last 20.
Yeah,
probably,
because like multiple injuries stacked up on him, and then you
wheelchair
have
bound.
the animosity between the Hart family and him.
Yeah.
Even Davey Boy and him. Like, it's one of those like a lot of that was chemically influenced.
Right.
But like hindsight being 2020 and just being able to see like the last 10 years of like Tyson Kidd being able to like talk to him and like even
That is just a giant semi truck now.
Bulldogs.
That
I don't like what's happening on Broadway, but sorry
But
about this.
maybe it is the zombie apocalypse.
But like even just
That'd be crazy.
British Bulldogs kid.
Harry.
David Jr. whatever. Him
It's Harry
like,
Smith, isn't it?
It's Harry Smith, yeah.
Yeah.
But like even him getting to like meet Dynamite Kid and actually like talk to him.
Yeah.
With all of like the bad blood that was there. Like it's nice that happened. It was a bummer that we never got that between the two of them.
What an amazing name, too. I know that sounds weird, but Dynamite Kid is such a good wrestling name.
Oh, it was an amazing name for like you had the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, and Dynamite Kid.
Yeah, that's just a cool tag team name. So my question is, why did they go with the British Bulldogs and not the Dynamite Kids?
Because they were British?
Well, I was going to say Dynamite Kids sounds like something McDonald's would put out in a Happy Meal. Like, get the new Dynamite Kids set,
They'll have funky colored hair.
Yeah.
rollerblade.
Little Matilda dog. Very sad. Davey Boy Smith passed away today, age 60, on his birthday. It's extremely sad, and our condolences go out to everyone that loved the Dynamite Kid and to all of professional wrestling, really. And we get tired of reporting on these deaths, but
Oh, something that bummed me out about it, like Ringside Collectibles, anytime somebody passes away in wrestling, they'll like pull up their action figure. And legit, the last Dynamite Kid action figure was like 10, 15 years ago. It's just like, because it's like one of those, like, you really see who they memorialize with stuff like that. Like, we have Andre figures. We still get Andre figures. The fact that, like, we would get a Hogan figure every 10 like, Elite Waves if it wasn't for what happened.
right.
It's just a bummer that we haven't gotten a Dynamite, because he's, like, literally an unsung hero in wrestling.
So this I don't like, and just because I am not super familiar with him, like I know his work with the British Bulldog and like stuff like that. But aside from that surface level, like being a fan of him, I don't know that much. Is there bad blood there between him and WWE, or is it just like it's someone that they never not bothered to reach out to, because that's not a good way of putting it, but
A little bit of both, where it was just like after a certain point, if I remember it correctly, Davey Boy Smith like took the British Bulldogs' names and didn't like clear it with Kid, and that set up a lot of animosity. Where like that he would let him use his likeness every once in a while, but like to my knowledge, he's never been in a video game. They have not mentioned him in forever. And I mean, I believe that he was a WWF Tag Team Champion at one point. But yeah, no, like he just kind of went into like a hermit state when it came to wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you really didn't hear anything from him. Did he even do appearances or anything like that?
That I'm not aware of, because he wouldn't leave his like home even for a lot of it. Like once he became wheelchair bound, which was like the saddest thing, just because he's such a talent.
Yeah.
Like he was,
But you're very much right. He very much became a hermit in his later years.
yeah.
That didn't, and that's why I thought he was older. And I legitimately thought he had already passed away. Like I thought he passed away before Davey Boy Smith passed away. So when I heard,
Oh no,
today,
no, he was alive the entire time. Also, fans, I'm sorry for my voice. Whenever my voice goes out, it isn't like Jesse's. Mine's gonna sound like ass for the rest of the show.
it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're comfortable right now.
I
By
am
the way.
too.
He's the most comfortable I've ever seen him. He's got 2 chairs kicked up.
Well, I mean, we have multiple chairs here at the Podzilla
Just pull
Centers.
up the big comfy one. Just sit in it.
Well, now I can't because we're doing a show.
That wouldn't stop us. Moving on to other news again. The Dynamite Kid, Tom Billington, passed away today, age 60. Very, very sad. And yeah, that's tragic. But we got to move on. We got to talk about other stuff. A lot of stuff to talk about this week. Let's go to John Cena winning the Sports Illustrated Muhammad Ali Legacy Award for philanthropy. Mm-hmm. So he is a philanthropist.
I hesitated to put this on the list for this specific reason.
He's a full. No, I say it?
I said philanthropist. If you take that and stretch it into a sunny joke, that's on you. Yeah.
I'm seeing John Cena at a bar or
talking to a beautiful woman.
That's not Nikki Bella, and says, "I'm a full-on rapist."
I'm sorry. Did you just say you were a full-on rapist?
Yeah.
No, that's not how it goes. Like,
Sick people.
I help people. I get a philanthropist.
Yeah.
I work out as janitor in a bar. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And now that you mentioned Nikki Bella, that reminds me of something I saw today.
I'm sorry.
A story on 411 Mania was about Nikki Bella going on a date with the guy from like The Bachelor, and how nothing really happened from it.
Kenny King?
I don't remember the guy. She didn't feel a spark, and that it was all taped for Total Bellas and all this stuff. And like, I don't care about that. I always read like every article just because I like to know what's happening. But like the first comment was like, "Could you guys please stop posting this shit? No one cares about Nikki Bella." I took the time to reply to the dude, and I gave this long paragraph about like explaining to him how algorithms work and how if you appeal to more people, you can get more views and stuff like that. And then I was like, "So until we find a way to make the internet just for you, and we're working on it." How about you just don't click on the articles you don't like?
Please tell me his response was, "You're gay. You are." Like the letter U, the letter R.
He
gay.
did not respond.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. He's still writing.
He's building something
He
up.
started typing as soon as he saw that.
It's a 50-paragraph thing. But yeah, so anyway, John Cena wins the Sports Illustrated Muhammad Ali Legacy Award for philanthropy. And what philanthropy?
What?
Like
is that a legit like? What does he do for people or?
Well, like I know, and I'm being legit. Like I know that sounded like a joke, but like I know he obviously does the Make-A-Wish stuff, and God bless him for doing it because that's incredible. And he does wrestling and movies. But was there something else that like he does that maybe I just don't know about that he also got the award for?
I mean,
or is this strictly for like him working with kids and stuff like that?
I mean, it's probably just because he's the single most wish-grantingest individual ever.
Right.
Like I would,
and it wasn't a shot at John Cena, by the way. I legitimately thought like maybe he has a separate like clothing line, like maybe he's doing other stuff as well.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently he was also. Oh, that's sport. That's a different one. He was a. Oh, I can't even think of the word.
Philanthropist.
Not where he won it, but where he was nominated. I couldn't think of nominated. Dear Lord, yeah, I see it. Okay. He was nominated back in 2015 for a similar award. But it wasn't the Sports Illustrated one. I'm going to see if I can pull up that article real quick and see if it says specifically. Like I just thought that was a super cool thing.
No, it is. And John Cena definitely deserves it. Like his work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation alone, I think he deserves all the credit in the world.
Yeah,
we very often criticize WWE for the stupid things they do, like Saudi Arabia Part 2, Raw currently. But when they do something good, you should also point out the good that they do. And their work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation and John Cena specifically is incredible. And that's amazing.
Saudi Arabia 2, Electric Boogaloo.
And Saudi Arabia 3, the Texas Blood Bunny, which I'm sure is coming
Texas Blood Bunny.
next year.
Did you say bunny or money?
Money.
Okay.
Texas Blood Bunny.
I heard bunny.
That's your
heard
gimmick in
bunny.
wrestling. The Texas Blood Bunny.
Because I'm billed from Cape
Holy
Girardeau,
shit.
Missouri.
Got to have Jackson kill you off, and then you can come back as the Texas Blood Bunny.
All right, so spoiler
But you
alert.
have to dress like Muffin Butt or whatever her name is. I don't know.
Muffin Ass.
Muffin ass.
Muffin ass.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was so far off.
The Tokyo Latina. Did I tell you what Damone wants to call the group, by the way?
No.
I hope
After the
he's-
show.
I hope he's not
After the
listening.
show.
No, I want it
It's
now.
Legal. It's legal. Like, it's nothing offensive. He wants to call it the Cape Crusaders.
No.
That was Dalton laughing.
You're right. I love it. I think it's a great name. And I think that's what we should go with.
Why are you making the rolling the dice motion with your wrist
My
when
wrist
you said
hurts
that?
so
Because he's
much
going to
right
roll
now.
the dice, take a chance on it, Dalton.
Yeah.
Duh. Idiot.
Change your mind.
It looks like it is mostly for his nearly 600 wishes granted,
Jeez.
which is more than anyone else involved in the history of the organization, and his advocacy for breast cancer awareness and early detection.
I don't understand how John Cena has time to do anything.
Well, I mean, he doesn't. That's why he doesn't wrestle anymore.
It's true.
He's doing
Plus,
charity work.
he's a fairly competent actor. I haven't seen Blockers yet. I heard it's
Oh,
funny.
I loved it.
Was it good?
Yeah, Derek and I thought that was hilarious.
He's good on Psych.
He's good on Psych. He was good on SNL.
He's gonna do. He's gonna be in Bumblebee.
He is. And I remember when the big rumor was that he was going to be Shazam, and that The Rock would be Black
See,
Adam.
that was
kind of cool.
That was never a rumor. That was just fantasy casting.
That's what I wanted. Although the guy that got
'Cause
to
if
play
anyone-
Shazam is pretty good.
Because if anyone can play a 10-year-old in a superhuman's body,
It's
it's
John
John
Cena.
Cena.
I'm surprised he didn't get sued by Marvel to begin with.
It's
DC.
like, hey, this is
DC.
real life.
So really quick off topic again. Did you guys see the preview for the Arrowverse's crossover episode? What they
yet.
revealed in it?
I've only seen images from a few weeks ago.
Is it Batwoman?
No, there's a
She
Bane
is in
mask, but it's the Bane mask from The Dark Knight Rises.
Huh.
So the big rumor is that they're tying it into the Nolan films.
I very much doubt that. I bet that I get the.
It's just a
feeling
nod.
That's more of a nod or an
Yeah.
Easter egg than they're going to do anything with that.
Anyway, moving on to wrestling stuff. Let's talk about Rhino real quick. Rhino lost a match against Heath Slater on Raw,
Got fired.
and was fired from it, and then announced his retirement after
Baron
the
Corbin
match.
had to crunch the numbers and
I
realize
can't
that they couldn't
describe
afford.
to you how much I hate these kind of storylines.
See, okay, I think that this is just he was ready to retire. And honestly, I am very if they do something with it, because it's super easy that we may never see him again.
Right.
But Heath Slater as a reluctant referee, I'm interested in that.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. No.
Like if he's like constantly a thorn in Baron Corbin's side because he's competent,
right.
like the heels try to cheat and he just calls them on it, like starts
Because he
disqualifying.
knows, because
Yeah.
he's been a heel.
Right.
Instead of him just probably just being a ref. Like
Right.
if they actually moved him to a ref role, I'd actually be a little sad.
Yeah, but and again, maybe I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt undeservedly. But I think that this could be super interesting.
I know wrestling's a work, and I shouldn't get upset over little things like that, but I really, it bothers me that this is how Rhino goes out. Like the legendary Rhino loses a 1-minute match to Heath Slater and gets fired by Baron Corbin, who is like the face of Raw at this point in almost every segment. They're really pushing the Corbin angle.
See, like Raw is not getting good ratings right now
Or reviews.
or reviews, but they're setting up there's a lot of interesting things going on of like storytelling that they can do. The issue of it is that their setup is not fantastic, but there's a lot of places they can go.
If they get a good payoff.
If they really stick to it and like actually try to make some cool stuff happen, it would be neat. But like right now, like I see the ground, like even like the Heath Slater thing that you said, that could get really cool if they stick with it.
Well, and I think to give them some credit, like they are very much in a reshuffling phase right now.
Yeah,
Very much
you,
so.
you lose Roman Reigns. Alexa Bliss is hurt. You have to change up things with Becky and Ronda. They're having to deal with some major losses because you have to know going forward. I don't know what you're looking at, but
I'm sorry, Jesse replied to all of us on Twitter.
oh god.
And can you guess what the reply is?
I mean, I'll find out.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is later. This
yeah.
is later. We're in
Yeah,
the middle
you
of a
definitely
show.
want to see this.
I lost my train of thought entirely.
Alexa Bliss is
Alexa
injured.
Bliss, the reshuffling.
The reshuffle.
No, yeah, because like clearly Roman was going to be the focus of the show going forward,
Right.
and that I'm assuming that if the reports are true that Dean wasn't going to turn until in a few months,
Yeah.
they were still going to be building towards that.
They had to play their
So
hand
right
early.
now they're trying to establish So you have to go back to Brock as champion.
Yep.
So they're trying to reestablish Braun. They're doing their best to establish McIntyre.
With Braun hurt too.
Who then, because which he should be. Apparently, he's supposed to be good by TLC because it wasn't a major surgery, but still.
And apparently, I don't know if you have this on the list. I haven't looked yet, but Mark Henry said
that's
in an
on the
interview.
list.
Okay, then I'll wait.
Well, I mean, we can just jump into it now.
Okay.
But like Mark Henry said that Alexa Bliss is clear to wrestle, but then Meltzer actually came out like today or something and said no, she's cleared for some physical activity, but she's not like 100% cleared to wrestle.
Gotcha.
Which hopefully she will be. But even still, like I don't think it's a bad idea to keep her in an authority role.
Yeah, because she's so good at it.
Right.
Like she's
instead of just hot-shotting her back into the championship
right.
scene.
She's a good wrestler. She is. Like I enjoy watching her wrestle, but she's such a good personality that like that kind of role is really well for her. Better so than I think Paige. I think Paige is doing okay as GM, but I think Alexa would do a much better job in the same role. So yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea either. Mm-hmm. And I do think they're finally pulling the trigger on McIntyre, which is great.
Except, did you see Monday?
Yeah, but apparently it's at the. So Meltzer also said, and you got to take what Meltzer says with a grain of salt. I mean, he's obviously broke some big stories, but he's also had a lot of criticism. But that this is going to be to set up McIntyre's gigantic push to the moon, and then Ziggler's going to fade away, which sounds
Par for the course.
yeah, sounds viable.
Yeah, but it seems like such a weird random moment that this happened. But anyway, but like I said, they're in this like restructuring phase. Maybe they can and they're establishing Lashley and guys like Lashley and Elias and Finn Balor, who was also low key all over Raw this week. And it's like, okay, yes, hopefully that
and Corbin
stays.
To be fair, they're really pushing Corbin, and I don't hate Corbin, so I just want him to have better material. I'm just tired of the heel GM. I'm tired of GMs.
Yeah.
In general. Someone posted it online the other day, and it's absolutely true. I don't know if you guys remember, because I'm a little bit older than you guys, but like the late 80s, early 90s of WWF, when like Jack Tunney
there it is.
was like the general manager, and he only came out when big things happened to make small announcements.
Right.
He wasn't there every single week deciding things.
Multiple segments of the week, yeah.
Right.
You have this kind of unseen, unheard, there is someone running the show.
Right.
And okay, when it warrants it, they're actually going to come out and handle stuff instead of just every week kind of either being a total jerk or
a good guy
or the bumbling,
right?
But sweet, like it's either Stephanie McMahon or Kurt Angle,
right?
There's never really any in between except for William Regal and Drake Maverick.
Yes,
who William Regal is kind of close to that Jack Tunney role at this point.
He really is. Because
he's not on every week of NXT,
and he gives it such a like credibility. You know, like Jack Tunney, even though Jack Tunney wasn't actually in charge,
right?
When they brought him out, it felt big time. I forget who it was. Dalton, I don't know if you remember who attacked. It was Vader. When he attacked Jack Tunney, was huge. I was like, oh my god, you can't do that.
And he just ended up being a fat piece of he's
a fat piece of shit. Yeah.
Which then, but then at the same
he's
time,
dead
like,
too. Never mind.
At the same time, you can't have like. Because it was huge then, because it hadn't really been done before.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're at a point where...
And kayfabe was still very much alive at the time.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to get at. Like, you have to think about, like, when did we start getting this GM persona?
I think I read
it was
Bischoff, wasn't it?
No.
Whenever
Vince did the thing before Raw saying that this is entertainment.
Brett... Oh, is it that? Or I thought I would even go with it's the...
It was at the start of the Attitude Era.
Well, when Brett, I didn't screw Brett. Brett screwed Brett.
Yeah,
because that's when he went from.
But that was after Bischoff. Because remember, Brett went to WCW where Bischoff and the NWA come out and did the like WCW logo and stuff.
No, that wasn't instantaneous though.
It was like the next week. I can guarantee you. I promise.
There was a grace period.
The Bret Hart thing happened, and like either the next night on Monday or the week after, NWO came out and were talking about how Bret was coming to WCW. I promise you. Like,
I mean, they may have said Bret was coming to WCW.
But my point of that is that Bischoff was already in that role of
he was the on-air authority.
I was the on-air authority figure for WCW, and then it went to Vince in WWE when they started that.
All right, so they'd started coming out of the Monday Night Wars
in the 90s.
All right.
We'll say the 90s.
Whenever past the curtain call.
Yes.
Whenever a lot of that started, like, and then
right.
You had a lot of things being like understanding, like, all right, this is a work. So you have to do things that it became more of a TV show than an athletic competition.
Sports entertainment.
Watch WrestleMania 3 and then watch WrestleMania 34. One is an athletic endeavor.
Right.
One is a show.
And then go back and watch WrestleMania 17, which is the best WrestleMania.
I mean 19, but yeah.
Which one was 19? Was that Hollywood?
No,
Were they went
that
home?
was 21.
Oh.
19 was Seattle. It was Angle Lesnar, Rock Austin 3.
That's a pretty good one. 17 was also really good. The teens were just good years.
No.
But 17 was really good.
Oh yeah, no, like 17, 18, 19.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're at least in agreement.
Yeah,
on
but
that.
like-
all right.
13 and stuff. Yeah.
Shit, which one was the? All right, I know we're getting off here. Which one was the one with that Shawn Michaels won? Was it 12 when he won the title from Brett?
Yes.
And then also had the Hollywood backlot brawl with Piper and Goldust, which was
I think
just
that was 12.
horrible.
Whoa!
The stock footage,
Watch your
the
whore
stock
mouth.
footage of O.J. Simpson and the white Bronco. Come
that
on.
shit holds up. That is still hilarious.
Then Piper strips him down to his black lingerie.
Dustin agreed to it.
Oh my God, that was crazy. Anyway, moving on. Our old friend PCO, who we just saw in Cape Championship Wrestling just, about 2 months ago?
September.
Great guy, fantastic talent. Used to be a WWF tag team wrestler with the
Quebecers.
Is it Roger? I always mispronounce their last name. Is it
Fabulous Rougeaus.
Rougeaus? Okay, the Quebecers. Really reinstated himself on the indie scene. Did some absolutely batshit crazy promos where he's being electrocuted. He's having darts thrown at him. I think there was one where he was literally sacrificing people he had beaten in wrestling to some kind of dark god that we still don't know. He is signed with Ring of Honor because nothing says honor like a man who gets his nipples electrocuted while having darts thrown at him.
He can follow rules.
My headcanon is that he showed up at the office and they were like, just take it.
They were too scared to.
Yeah.
They were too scared to not give him a job.
He just walks
Which is-
in and they ask him, "Are you a man or male or female?" Well, I'm not human. All right,
I'm more than human.
You got the job.
And we're going to just add that to the options list here, which is hilarious
Now
because he
everyone's
is like
looking
the nicest person. He was
He's
so,
very quiet
he was
though.
So
He's
sweet.
super intimidating because of how quiet he was. Like you could tell him and Pondo both. Like we also met Madman Pondo a couple weeks ago, and Pondo's in the locker room with us, just like PCO was. They very much stick to themselves in the corner, not because I think they're rude, but because new locker room, they don't know everybody, but they were
Right.
incredibly nice to anyone that talked to them. I've yet to really meet anyone in wrestling that I haven't enjoyed that I can say on the air.
I also kind of want his whole shtick to be like whenever he goes to like do the handshake at the beginning of each match, he just like breaks their hands. It's
That's
like the Marty Skrull bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except he's just like they just crumple at the handshake.
And he's not even doing it on purpose. He's just shaking
Yeah,
their
he's
hand.
just trying.
Yeah.
He's like it's not an intimidation factor.
And someone mentions later, it's like, can we adjust the rules for him? Maybe just a bow.
High five.
No, break your elbow. So congratulations to PCO. I look forward to seeing that. Jack Swagger, who is now going by, what's his real name?
Jake Hager.
Yeah. Will make his Bellator debut on the 26th of January in 2019.
Yes.
I think he'll do well.
I just thought that was interesting.
He was
Yeah.
a monster in college.
Yeah.
But
Like
it's-
collegiate wrestling.
But to be in fairness, it's been a long time since he's been in college. Like he's not that old. Like he's
I
not
mean, he's
old.
in his 30s, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to know who else like was really good in collegiate?
Are you about to compare Jack Swagger to Brock Lesnar?
But what I'm saying is like the time in between was
He
just
was.
as much, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if Swagger's gonna be
Again,
doped up.
are you comparing Jack Swagger, who's a big dude,
Yeah.
big strong dude, like
But he's no Brock Lesnar.
but Brock Lesnar is a freak of nature.
Brock Lesnar is legitimately Jack from the Tekken games.
Yeah,
He legitimately is.
he
is
might be
just
part
Jack.
robot.
I
Yeah.
hope he punches the dude in the face, flips him over, and breaks his collarbone. So I'd be like, Lesnar did the exact same thing.
With them little twig legs on Brock Lesnar. In other MMA news, CM Punk said officially, and I can't believe I have to say this, he said officially that he will not be fighting Logan Paul.
Was that ever a thing?
That was very much a thing. They were
Damn it.
They were trying to get Dana White to book the match on the pretense of, Punk lost his first two matches, but this is going to be a celebrity fight. Logan Paul did so well. He actually apparently legitimately impressed people with his fight against KSI. And that match, like, I shake my head too, but legitimately that match on YouTube, I think it was YouTube or Twitch or whatever, set records, made so much money.
Well, yeah, because trash birds of a feather flock together, sir.
But now they wanted Logan Paul to fight Punk. And Punk said, I will absolutely not do that. That is, like, no, that's
Idiotic.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were looking forward to that, he's also not going to fight Tommy from Power Rangers,
Son of a bitch.
which I would actually like to see that fight.
Actually, I don't. I want to see Punk lose again.
Since we're going so,
Damn, I was glad he said something because I was trying to think of a joke, but I didn't want to make it.
if we're going so off of topic, did you see that XFL announced its 8 cities?
I didn't know if you were going to mention that tonight.
I
'Cause,
didn't see
that's
it.
sort
I didn't
of
see it
wrestling
until
related.
just now.
Gotcha.
Dallas, Houston, Los Angeles, New York, Seattle, St. Louis, Tampa, Washington, D.C.
So I'm
And
gonna,
apparently they are like applying for trademarks for additional cities in Atlanta, Austin, which would be cities in Texas: Atlanta, Austin, Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit, Kansas City, Minnesota, Nashville, Orlando, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Pittsburgh, and San Francisco.
Also, just so you know, all of those but one or two have NFL teams.
I was just about to say that. Like, pick all the cities that have them already.
Austin doesn't have one.
Mm-hmm. St. Louis doesn't have one
and
anymore.
St. Louis doesn't have one.
Yep.
The rest of those already have NFL teams. You need to stay away from that.
Yeah.
Like, hell, I would almost put a team in Oakland.
Yeah, there's a lot of cities that could use a team.
Hell, put a... Oh, no. That's where...
See, you say you could use a team. This is... Professional sports teams are so expensive. And
Yeah.
if you are not if you are not selling tickets and bringing in money to the city for like away games, it is a giant money suck.
Yeah.
For something that could be going to something so much more critical.
Right.
John Oliver did a really good last week tonight, a couple years back, about like stadiums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's super like... I went to my first NFL game 2 years ago almost with Jesse and Mandy and Andrew. Went to that Colts game. If XFL gets a St. Louis team, I will buy a jersey, I will go to a game, and I will say that's my favorite team.
I think we should all go to one game at least. Because I've never been to a professional game.
I saw that like
In anything.
season ticket passes for it are $50.
Really? That's
Yeah.
doable.
Oh yeah, no, considering my NFL ticket was like 70.
Couple
you.
missions in Red Dead, and
I mean, you're getting
30,
great,
40 hours.
You're
and I'll
going to
have
be getting
$50.
great value football.
But in St.
You
So
say
Louis,
great
that's why
value like
No, no,
the
it's-
term
no, no.
great value is supposed to be good. That is a great value.
all right.
Also,
what's What's
that
better?
brand has some pretty good stuff.
I mean, yeah.
What's better, Pepsi or Great Value Cola?
Pepsi.
Yeah, you want to know what's better?
What's better than the
What's-
XFL?
The NFL.
NFL.
You got two things.
And the
sitting on
CFL.
You ain't getting great value toilet paper if Charmin's right there.
Yeah,
Don't skip on you don't skip
but
on
see,
the toilet paper.
we are so far away from Charmin in this area for football that I'm like, you know what? I'll use some great
I guarantee
value.
you, XFL in St. Louis, or pretty much any city, but especially St. Louis, first couple of games, maybe the first season, will do ridiculously well.
Yeah, but
just because it's an attraction.
But it will fail.
But it
will fail
if
again.
It's sustainable.
Yeah.
but out of the 18, like out of the, can you say the original 8 cities again? I'm sorry.
Give me a minute to find that.
But I
link
think
again.
all of them except for, unless Austin was one of the teams that was original, all of those other ones
Austin was not.
Okay, so then the other 7 cities already have an NFL team. Why would I give a hell if LA has an XFL team? I can go watch the Rams kill people.
Right. But what if you have, legitimately, what if you are in a city that has a not so good team, but the XFL team is killing it?
Well, then you would have a reason to go, but like the only city that's really benefiting from having an XFL team, I believe, is St. Louis. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
we won a football team.
Which and
Right.
it's a bonus that there's already a stadium.
Yeah, that helps.
They
Like,
don't
didn't
have,
have
to
to build anything.
Which these are all using previous stadiums. So Dallas is Globe Life Park. Houston is the TDECU Stadium. Great name. LA has the StubHub Center. New York has MetLife Stadium. Seattle is CenturyLink Field. St. Louis has the Dome at America's Center. Tampa has Raymond James Stadium, and DC has the Audi Field.
They are going to use the MetLife Stadium
That's what
for XFL.
according to CBSSports.com.
Well, that is brave.
To be fair, so we're making fun. I make fun of the XFL because the first launch was terrible, but they seem to be putting a lot of thought, and it sounds a little bit more like legit this time.
Well, whenever you're giving yourselves more than 8 months to do it, then yes.
Also, not trying to infuse wrestling into it as much, or wrestling. Remember one of the rules that they had where cheerleaders got bonuses if they dated players?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Which I still don't believe that was
a legit,
real.
Yeah,
I know.
was a
I
thing.
don't think it was real. I think it was wrestling real.
Oh man,
But
The XFL had kayfabe.
yeah,
more kayfabe than
because
wrestling.
they also aired a halftime segment about the cameraman trying to get into the cheerleaders' locker room.
It turns out he didn't really hate him.
What happened to that guy?
He went to the NFL because he was like the only really, really good player. Did you hear the story about like the first night at one of the games? They were like, we need more nicknames on the back of jersey. So this guy was like, all right, just call me Teabagger. And they made it. They put it on a jersey, and then they were like, somebody had to explain it, and they were like, we can't do that. Just put your last name on it.
One was Skeet, but when white people found out what Skeet meant, they were like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god.
It greatly ruffled those toupees.
I was so happy that you waited for me to take a drink that I couldn't finish the joke, you asshole.
Real quick, breaking news. Ish, because William Regal tweeted
Ding.
William Regal tweeted it about 4 minutes ago. Aleister Black will face Tommaso Ciampa at NXT TakeOver Phoenix for the NXT Championship. And also, Johnny Gargano and Aleister Black will have a steel cage match in 2 weeks on NXT.
Well, hell's bells.
Ooh. Hell's
We're
bells.
going to be logging back into that WWE network.
Are you using my login?
I mean,
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know who has access to my account.
And where's Something Claus getting that cash? Hey, we don't
Everybody
need to talk
getting
about that. Matt Hardy says he is not retired from in-ring competition.
I never assumed
But
he
stay
was.
tuned till next week when he will be, and then the following week when he's not.
This is the most Matt Hardy
Matt Hardy
thing ever.
Yeah.
Because he even says in this interview, like, no, I was very careful. I was very particular to not use the word retired. It's just now I have to go home because he's hurt. He's injured.
Yeah.
So he's on a extended. He's just taking a break, but he's not officially retired. Like a lot. But again, the phrasing he did use, while it didn't specifically say retired, very much felt like a retirement.
Yeah.
Right. And I would go out on a limb and say that I think Matt Hardy either should retire or should leave WWE at some point because they have bombed him so hard.
I'm going to disagree with you. Did you see the network special?
I have not.
You need to.
Is it more Matt Hardy than WWE let him
It
be?
is so broken. Universe is not even funny.
And that's good.
Plus,
That's what
I
he
mean,
needs to do.
I don't think he should leave WWE just because, like, it depends on what he's wanting out of his career right now. If he wants to go out and do crazy, insane, broken Hardy stuff on his own dime
Yeah.
and take it to wherever, then yeah, then he should leave. But if he is just looking for a steady, really, really good income, then yeah, no, stay with WWE.
Especially if they
make
give
your
him more-
money, you have earned it.
If they give him more network specials.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
That's where his
That
creativity
he's
can
not
flow.
having to pay for.
Yeah, and he can really do whatever he wants on those.
Right.
That's free reign.
Because it's the same thing as like Edge and Christian's show.
Right.
They were flat out wearing Bullet Club shirts one time.
Well, that was part of the bit, though.
Yeah.
It's like when Jason was like, "Yeah, you guys run chaos. Just do whatever you want." We were like rubbing our hands together. Okay,
No, we weren't. We were like, we hope we don't mess up.
let's see what we can do. Oh hell, my internet just died. That's weird. Anyway, speaking of Raw, we mentioned it earlier about how bad it's been recently, and whether and I have not watched it personally. I have watched a couple of segments, and I have not been big fans of them. But the general consensus is that it's not great, and Raw ratings for I guess this last show,
Yeah, so they've had 2 real big milestones over the last 2 weeks.
good milestone.
2 weeks ago, it was like the 4th lowest rating of all time, and then this week it is the lowest rated Raw ever,
And lowest first
Least
hour
wa-
since
sorry.
the 3 hours began.
least watched Raw
Right.
ever, and it's the lowest rated first hour since that 3 hour period began.
No, what really depresses me about
So
this.
here in 2 weeks, Vince McMahon will show up on TV.
I was looking to say the first thing I think of is they're going to blame the wrestlers. They're going to say, "Oh, Finn Balor's not attracting."
They'll blame the wrestlers they want to blame.
Right.
It'll be
It's not
Lashley
Strowman's
and
fault.
Balor, but it's not Strowman or Corbin or Nia.
Right. It's that. And in reality, you know what the problem is your goddamn writers. Like the writers and the people in charge. Because if it was a better product,
You know who wrote the show last week? The one that everyone universally was like, "This is the worst Raw we've ever seen."
I know it wasn't Vince McMahon.
It was Vince McMahon.
Damn it.
He wrote
I was hoping.
He wrote apparently the majority of it. Which this week's Raw wasn't terrible. Like I read the recaps, and like I liked how they were using Finn as just kind of like he threw Leo Rush back on the stage.
Yeah.
So Elias could break the guitar. He like interfered in a bunch of like little ways like that. He just kind of kept popping up everywhere.
What's baffling to me, and I guess we'll get into it more in the Raw segment, is like how you take a sure thing and piss it away. Dean Ambrose was a sure thing. Even when he turned heel, it could have been a sure thing. Like heel Ambrose would be great. Instead, you got Ambrose coming out in a goddamn gas mask looking like Bane.
See, I liked that entrance and I liked that look, but him resorting to just, boy, this town is terrible,
Yeah.
is so lazy and like,
Generic.
yeah.
It's like SmackDown versus Raw's season mode in the old games, where no matter what wrestler you picked, you got the same dialogue.
Although Renee Young on commentary when Corey Graves was like, clearly you know something, and her kind of snapping on him, I greatly enjoyed that.
almost sounds like they're pulling for a heel turn for her.
See, and that's kind of like that thing that I was talking about. I don't think I said it on the show, but like someone online was like, what if this happened? Where it's, oh, you want it before, like Dean Ambrose still has not talked to Seth. He still has not given an answer why he turned. And so they're in the ring, they're face to face, and Seth's just screaming, why? And then all of a sudden you just hear, you want to know why? Because I told him to. And it's
And
Renee
Renee
Young
Young is the
standing on the
ultimate bad
commentary.
guy?
Yeah, she's like pulling the strings. Like,
I wonder if anyone would give her the same crap they give me. You're just a ring announcer. You're just a
Well, she's a commentator. Yeah.
So was I. So was I.
Back
in the back.
Oh, I need to use that soon.
So, what do you do to fix Raw at this point?
Bring Vince on.
Not bring Vince
Bring
McMahon
Vince,
out.
you bring Vince. You start a Vince McMahon, Undertaker, John Cena 3-way feud.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
That Brock Lesnar then comes out and obliterates everyone.
Vince is getting hard right now. He doesn't know why. He didn't even take the pills.
Blue Chew?
Blue Chew.
Oh, shit. I'm the only one that listens to those podcasts. If you listen to the Conrad Thompson podcast, they pimp this Viagra-esque pill called Blue Chew.
Is this real or a joke?
No, it's real.
That's a real product?
Yeah, it's chewable. You don't need to go to a doctor for it, which really scares the shit out of me. It comes in discreet packaging because I guess people don't want to know that you're taking boner pills.
I don't think anyone's going to know what the fuck
I think
Chew
if you
is.
use promo code 83 weeks, you get like a month's worth for free. You just got to pay shipping.
That is so stupid. What is the website?
BlueChew.com.
Asa, how do you fix Raw? I can't speak to him anymore.
Honestly, I don't know.
How much
Like
is
I,
this to you?
I think you got to just kind of lean into what you're doing a little bit. Like keep a focus on because you have Seth and Dean doing like those matches will be phenomenal. I can't remember who I read it, but they were talking about how that feud feels like it's hurting because they're being kept so separate, and they're making Dean Ambrose look like a coward.
Yeah.
When in reality, what they should be doing is just going full Austin Rock, where they're just constantly
Effing with each other?
Yeah, they are constantly just going at each other. They have to take these great measures to keep them apart.
Right.
Because they fought so much before.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense that Dean Ambrose would
It's
be
that-
running now, but now he's a bad guy, so he's a chicken shit.
It's that old logic that if the bad guy has to be a chicken shit heel.
And you really just need to be consistent. Like, stop trying to turn everybody constantly. I think Drew McIntyre is money, Bobby Lashley is money, Strowman is money, Finn Balor is money. You have the tools there. It's just they're not being used the best way that they could be. Like, don't make the Revival be in the same comedy segment 4 weeks in a row because it's Lucha House Party rules. So it's 3-on-1 this week because it's still a Lucha House Party rules.
How do they? All right, so
How did you screw up the Revival that much?
and plus, if Baron Corbin is the GM and he's a heel, why is the Lucha House Party deciding that they can do 3-on-1 matches and stuff like that? Why is he letting them get away with it? And two, how are the Revival the bad guys?
That was another thing on Reddit, or maybe it was Twitter. I don't know. Someone pointed. It's like, okay, here's your top heels on Raw. Drew McIntyre wants everybody to have as strong of a work ethic as he does. The Revival just wants you to follow the rules.
And wrestle a tag match.
Baron Corbin's just trying to keep order. Alexa, and he delegates responsibilities to a woman. Like, he's giving a woman power. And it's just all these like breakdowns of like legitimate, like, you're not really the bad guy. Like Samoa Joe's, which is SmackDown. Samoa Joe is advocating for moderation in drinking. Daniel Bryan's actively trying to save the planet.
Yeah. Boo!
Oh, God.
I hope my daughter kicks all like 1,000 men in the groin. Yes. Daniel Bryan woke AF. This is the Vince McMahon hating millennial writing, but
Yeah.
it works because Daniel Bryan is
It's like every time they
golden.
try to do the, hey, look at this millennial and we hate them, the crowd cheers them.
also. It kind of sucks.
Becky Lynch.
It kind of sucks that SmackDown is also apparently having really bad ratings.
Yeah, but at least the
Even
general
though
consensus is that the show is better.
But the show is good. But do they then blame? Oh well, AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan is not a draw. Like
right.
well,
Becky Lynch clearly isn't a draw.
Right.
We need to put the title back on Charlotte,
I
which they may do at TLC.
saw a beautiful side-by-side today. That was Daniel Bryan and Don Cheadle as Captain Planet.
God
Yes.
damn it.
That cracked my
yeah,
shit
that
up.
was amazing.
so
Also,
remember to recycle.
I think
or I'll turn you into a fucking tree.
I'm telling you now. I think
I
think
know
Asuka
what
wins.
I'm watching tonight. Yeah, that's what I said too.
I think Asuka wins the title, and
hope
that
so.
way it frees up Becky and Charlotte for the Royal Rumble for one of them
Ronda.
to win and challenge Ronda.
Yeah. I agree. And Asuka needs it. She really
Yeah.
needs it at this point. Speaking of Becky Lynch, she topped ESPN's WWE Power Rankings. It's still weird for me to know that WWE is on ESPN because that was such a no-no growing up. Like, they wouldn't touch that. That's wrestling. And now they fully embraced it. What is he looking at?
I don't know.
Asa and Josh's Twitter feud.
I'm going to declare war on all of Canada. Just to
Don't
get
do
it.
that.
Just
I like
to get
them.
at him.
Yeah, I mean, Trump.
I'm gonna have to seek asylum there eventually, but I'm gonna infiltrate.
I think it's a lot easier to seek asylum there than it is here, so I think you're good.
hey, good on Becky Lynch. She's doing a killer job and she deserves
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
like she's
Good for
legitimately.
Ireland.
Whenever they're chanting Becky Lynch at Raw,
Yeah.
you're doing something right.
And Ronda's out there going like, are they chanting for Becky? No, they're saying, hey, Nikki Ronda, because she's got a
You
neck.
beat Nikki.
You beat Nikki.
Yeah.
Nikki. They're chanting for Nikki to get her ass kicked. Anyway, we got more AEW rumors. That's All Elite Wrestling. Is that All Elite Wrestling? It is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the hinted at promotion that the Elite, Kenny Omega, the Bucks, Cody are allegedly starting. Cody did a Q&A where someone asked him about it, and he said there will be an announcement in January, and that announcement will be bigger than people are expecting, which for this to be viable, you're going to need like established people and a TV deal. So I don't know how you can get a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
And then also over the weekend or sometime recently, Cody and Brandy were in the owner's boxes. We're in the owner's box of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who that is the owner of that team is supposedly one of the investors, partners, whatever. For that.
God.
So I don't know. This is a thing where it's like this could be super cool, but at the same time, like with how WWE signing everybody, ROH is starting to sign a bunch of people.
Right.
Like how this is even going to work if it's feasible. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not getting excited about it. That said, I will probably lose my mind if something actually materializes from this.
Right. Yeah. And I saw some big names attached to it. No, Jim Ross was said to be attached to it at one point.
Ross and Jericho, but they've both kind of been like given that shady.
Yeah.
Because Ross and Jericho are both very much like, no, yeah, clearly I'm not involved in this.
Wink.
Yeah, type thing.
It's exciting.
And but to be fair, like if anybody was going to fund just a startup wrestling promotion, Chris Jericho's already done that. He was the big secret financier for the Wrestling Revolution, which was run by what's his name? I can't remember his first name, but Katz. And I was super excited about that. Because
I've never heard of this.
We talked about it before on the show. Basically, what happened is Christian won the world championship after Edge had to retire. 3 days later on SmackDown, he lost to Randy Orton. That upset so many internet nerds, including myself, that Jeff Katz, I think was his name.
Yeah,
he was like a Hollywood producer who's a huge wrestling fan.
What, are you talking about the guy from the old that old TV show? Like the animated show where he was the psychiatrist?
Oh, is that his name? Then I might be thinking of the wrong name entirely, and I apologize, internet, if I am. But so this
I'm
like,
on Google right now.
relatively big shot Hollywood producer was so pissed off about it. He's like, you know what? I'm going to start my own wrestling company. But this was before like Kickstarter was really a thing. But he was asking for like donations to get this thing going. And he ended up finding a venue. He got talent. Joey Ryan was a part of it. Kenny Omega was a part of it. But after like a week or two, he announced that he was fully funded because someone donated like $15,000 or some ludicrous amount of money for him to run this. And then years later, it was Chris Jericho said that it was him.
Wow. Did they only run one show?
Well, they filmed a bunch of stuff, and it was supposed to be like a weekly, because basically he was going to change the way wrestling worked. It was going to be episodic. Everything was written ahead of time. No more,
booking on the fly.
Booking on the fly, going week to week. Everything was written, and it was going to be filmed at like a season of television. Again, this is way before Lucha Underground did this. The wrestlers were going to have contracts. They were going to work these shows, and then they would have time off to do whatever. They didn't have to, they could go other places and work. And it was supposed to be this huge revolutionary thing. And then I don't remember what happened, but something fell through and none of that footage was ever found. He dropped off the face of the planet. Like it fell through.
The way everybody found out it was Jericho was the Secret Money Man was a podcast because Carl Anderson was on it and he was making fun of it.
And Jericho's like, I'm the guy who put up that money.
Right? And they were like, what?
Was it him or was it Omega? Because Omega was a part of it and he was telling that story.
So did he legit fund it or was it a joke?
No, he legitimately funneled like a bunch of money.
Okay.
Or not funneled, makes it sound
super shady.
He gave him all this money to do it and then he just lost it all because like the distribution rights got messed up or I don't remember what happened.
Wow, I feel like this needs to be if there's not a documentary on this online, I got to find one.
It's because the dude wants nothing to do with it.
That's crazy.
Like he doesn't want to and he's
I did not know that story at all. That is a crazy story. Lastly, we got two more things. Impact has pulled LAX from 2 Evolve shows. Okay, that's one thing.
Makes super sense.
Because
basically,
WWE.
It's like they don't want to have their tag team champions lose to the NXT tag team champions. They don't want their champions to lose to another company's
Right.
guys. That is very closely associated with WWE.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. Real quick, we got one more thing. We're going to get out of here. We're actually making good time tonight. Let's talk about Raw and SmackDown. No, we are. Raw and SmackDown. We talked about Raw a little bit earlier, and I'm trying to remember if there's anything else of importance that really happened on there. I'm actually going to go to the TV report brought to us by our good friends over at 411 Mania. When you want to check out the news with a million ads that will crash your browser, check out 411 Mania.
You know, you can just use YouTube and just watch the
The hand-picked WWE.
Yeah, it's
moments.
super easy.
I usually do.
I usually do. Even though I don't like the material he's working with, I dug that look of Ambrose coming out with like the squad of people in the gas mask.
It looked really cool until you, like you said, until you read what his point
Promo
was.
yeah. Just everything's stinky. And he's from Vegas. Come on.
Nia Jax, apparently Natalya was written out of storylines because she has a legit injury that she's going to be dealing with, is what I read.
But then she's also apparently in the South America tour right now.
So is Rhino, by the way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even though he retired. Whatever. Obviously he's filling in last bookings.
He's he's fulfilling his latest commitments, and then he's going to be off TV.
Right.
Which, again, we kind of glossed over that. If the retirement's legit, again, a guy who absolutely deserves it. He didn't need to come back to NXT, and he did. He didn't need to get partnered up with Slater to help make Slater look better. He did. He was a highlight in any segment that he was in just because he played everything so straight-faced and deadpan, but he was so weird.
The cheese.
Yeah, the Ritz cracker stuff.
Yeah. It wasn't weird, but Raw did open with the 10-bell salute for George Bush, who had passed away. I wonder if they'll do something for Dynamite Kid. I assume they will.
There'll be a title card, if anything.
I feel like I was like, well, we would have seen that on SmackDown, but it happened today.
Yeah.
Right.
So I am wrong.
Looking through the list here, it's all very, very basic stuff. Lucha House Party, of course, beat Scott Dawson because, of course, he did.
So next week he'll beat Dash Wilder.
Which one's that?
Which one's Dawson?
Drew McIntyre had his appreciation night.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wanted to talk about. So he has his appreciation night. Ziggler's offended because he didn't mention him. McIntyre basically runs him down. You were a nobody until I came along, blah, blah, blah. And then Ziggler beats him with a super kick. Granted, there was distraction.
Balor.
But, man, how do you... this is the first loss McIntyre has taken on Raw since he came back.
First singles loss. Yep.
Even in the tag teams matches that they've lost, they lost by Ziggler. Ziggler's the one that ate those losses. So this just seems like a really weird decision for all of a sudden them trying to make Ziggler feel like a big deal when we know it's just temporary.
I think this goes one of two ways. It either goes Ziggler, Balor, McIntyre at the next show, and it'll be a triple threat match, or it's just going to go Balor, McIntyre, and Ziggler will just go the wayside. McIntyre will murder him next week, and that's it for Ziggler. Then it switches over to Balor, McIntyre, and Ziggler's just flapping in the wind.
Yeah. I don't know. That said, I'm excited for Balor, McIntyre.
That's going to be a great match.
Those
I'd
could
be excited
be great
for
matches.
the triple threat. I think that'd be a good match.
Yeah.
But, Ireland versus Scotland. Ooh.
And I love Ziggler. We talk, I know it's that thing where it's not that you dislike him, it's just you've been burned on supporting him too many times before. And if I'm speaking out of turn for you, correct me.
No, you're right. You're right.
But
when you're right, you're right.
Hey. I don't know what that voice was.
Krusty.
No, there's only one hey.
That's my Krusty. We had Rude and Gable versus the Authors of Pain. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I'm sorry.
It was just Bobby Roode versus Drake Maverick.
And then it was announced that it was a 3-on-2 handicap match after Authors of Pain footage of Authors of Pain demolishing Gable backstage.
Please stop calling them the Authors of Pain. They're just AOP now.
Excuse me. I apologize. Yes. I was
Is it Ope or Opie? That's supposed to be in Missouri. Is it Ope?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
No, that's just a Midwestern thing.
Oh, well, it's not because I don't do it.
Let me just sneak right past you.
I don't do it.
No, I do it all the time.
I do it all the time, too.
You just stiff arm people.
I just push them out of the way.
You're like,
Right.
oh.
and say,
no
move,
pee.
jock ass.
Jock ass.
I love the 411 Mania's report where it says the inoculated Dean Ambrose arrives.
Yeah, because he showed last week he was shown at a doctor's office getting a vaccine to keep the illness as well. Oh, that was another one of those bad guys.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose is pro-vaccination.
Boo!
Jesus. To Ronda Rousey was in 2 matches on Raw
Yeah.
because really got to push that. Finn Balor beat Jinder Mahal. Okay.
Yup.
And then, main event was Rousey and Ember Moon versus Tamina and Nia Jax.
Yep.
So
Which you have like intimidating Nia and then immediately like cower to Rousey because they don't know what they're doing with Nia either.
because booking is fun.
Yeah.
And then we had SmackDown. SmackDown was a much better show.
Yes.
I think it was last week. I read the report, and it was like, what is it? SmackDown's a 2-hour show?
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was 15 minutes of wrestling in a 2-hour show. Mm-hmm. And, we're so accustomed to that now. We're used to it, of seeing that. But I remember back in the old days when they first started really pushing that whole entertainment aspect, I would look, and it would be 2-hour Raw, 3-hour Raw, 20 minutes of wrestling, and I would go, Jesus Christ, what are they doing for the other 2.5 hours? Well, commercials, recaps, and lots of bad segments.
But this one had a lot of really good segments.
Paige here.
This for me is, I know I talked about Samoa Joe and Paul Heyman. Was that this year?
Yeah.
For my promo of the year?
Oh, shit. We didn't.
No, that was last year, wasn't it?
Well,
Was
this year
it?
we haven't done anything.
Well, no, I meant like when it happened. I was like, this is my promo of the year.
Yeah, that
This
was
is
that was
amazing.
the most recent one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if that happened this year or like over during the year or
Right.
if that was last year. But
Which we need to get our list ready, by the way.
I completely forgot about that. We'll do it. It's fine.
Yeah, we might do it. We might do it.
The I lost my train of thought again. But Daniel Bryan on Miz TV
Yeah.
was phenomenal.
Where Miz is trying to push him into like, hey, I was right, right? I was right.
Apparently, Taz is pissed off because they did the thing that he suggested they do, like 2 weeks ago on his podcast. Because Daniel Bryan comes out and he's like, he holds up the WWE Championship and he pulls those yes plates, those side plates, out of his pocket and just throws them on the ground because the yes movement is dead. The old Daniel Bryan is dead. But that whole promo was
Combining
incredible.
what was it? Combining the knowledge of the old Daniel Bryan with like the mindset of the new Daniel Bryan and how dangerous that is going to be. Yeah.
His assault on AJ after that match with Miz, which was good, was intense and incredible, and I really love that they are leaning into the most dangerous man in the world, Daniel Bryan, instead of just,
vegan millennial.
he's a bad guy, vegan millennial chicken shit.
I love when they finally put a bad guy in there that's not a chicken shit. That's part of the reason I like Lesnar. Because, at least he was like, yeah, I'm going to F you
He didn't
up.
run from people.
Right. Every bad guy is such a chicken shit other than like Triple H and like a handful of other people. So it's really cool when you get bad guys that just aren't the normal cowards.
The Uso Woods Cesaro triple threat match was incredible, and I was really hoping that they were going to like alternate and put the other tag team partner as a triple threat like next week.
No.
Nope, we're getting a rap battle.
Rap battle.
Hosted by the New Day between the Usos and the Bar. Gross. I'm really hoping it's
Who's
just like
writing this segment?
I really
wonder?
hope they're not even trying. Like it's just the Usos do their first verse and the Bar just annihilates them. Just attacks them immediately.
I really hope that's the case, but I can almost guarantee it's going to be super embarrassing.
It's gonna be super cringy.
Super embarrassing, right? Yeah.
That said, Sheamus and Cesaro are both downright hilarious in their own rights, so
They
it
are.
could be good. This could be better than we're expecting, but
Good in a bad way.
anytime they do,
Sharknado.
yeah,
Birdemic.
yeah,
Goat in your mom.
go in your mom.
Dun, dun,
No, Becky, Charlotte, Asuka contract signing.
That was pretty good.
Matt Becky
I dug
was the
that.
only one that signed the contract.
Securing her title victory.
They turned it into a tag match between Charlotte, Asuka, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And I heard it was a pretty good match. What I love about it was that they didn't win. Normally, when you do the whole, two people that hate each other are forced to team up, they always win.
Strange bedfellows.
The titles, usually.
Yeah.
But in this case, they actually did lose to Mandy and Sonya. And one of the reports, actually, I think this report that I'm reading on 401 Mania, guy was like, yeah, I attended the show. Here's my thoughts live. And the first thing he put was, being able to see Mandy Rose's ass in person is amazing. And I thought, you are what's wrong with the fucking world. People like you. Jesus Christ. If that's the first thing you mention.
Right.
Oh, my God. Scumbags. Anyway, sorry, Allie. I apologize to you directly for scumbags.
Well, she was the one that wrote that.
I know, and I can't believe that you were. True story. We were at Bessard's once, and
Oh, there's an eye roll.
am I going to tell the story? I'm not telling this one. Okay,
Well, now I need to know. You were at Broussard's.
off the air. Anyway, we also had what else did we have? Miss TV. We already went over. Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton wrestled. Randy Orton won after about 9 minutes due to Samoa Joe distracting him. Samoa Joe then cut a. Like you said, promoting moderation and drinking, which is a good message.
See, they're doing this feud this way so they can ignore the CM Punk Jeff Hardy feud.
Which was the same thing.
Yeah. Except it's not going to be as convincing when Samoa Joe comes out painted like Jeff with his music.
You're not gonna get confused. Joe
that
comes out.
that music. He comes out. He's got
And the
the
announcer's
face
like, "All right, there's Jeff. Wait a minute, something's not right."
What would Scott Steiner say about that, Jeff Hardy?
Why has Jeff Hardy got a fat asses?
got a fat ass.
There's two of them. It's so big it counts as two. AJ
It's the
Styles,
whole Isle of Samoa.
AJ Styles and the Miz. Miz loses to AJ Styles in a good match, and then Brian obliterates him at the end.
Love it.
So that's all well and good, and it does seem like it was a better show than Raw for sure. Thankfully, we don't have any pay-per-views to talk about. We don't have any CCW to talk about. We do have Stride this weekend, though. I want to mention that real quick, Dalton. Do you have that card available?
Not off the top of my head. I know that I will be teaming with my partner, Dexter Roswell, against Jay Spade and Cash Borden.
Dirty people, those two.
Yeah, the dirtiest.
SP will be there.
SP's going to be there.
Which is very, very cool. We love when SP gets
Which,
go around.
I feel safe. Him and Dexter are buddies. So I think I'm spared on this show. No, Joey O'Reilly versus Wraith. That'll be a fun match. Riser versus Aaron Brooks.
Just for the record, Dalton's not excited about it. He's just sick.
I'm sick.
Yeah, we just want to point that out.
So he's going to be dealing extra poison damage this week.
Yeah.
That's why Dean Ambrose wears that mask.
I've been getting.
You were the fan he's talking about. You diseased rat.
I've been getting sick in preparation for Cash Borden because I know I can't strike with him or grapple with him, but I can try to get him sick. No, it's gonna be. I had a really, really fun match with Jay a month ago. Yeah, it was about a month ago, and I was super excited whenever the card got announced, and I got to be in the ring with him again. And it's gonna be the first time Dexter and I are teaming.
Who that's Garrett?
Dexter and I are teaming proper. We did it one time for a school, but I think this is me and Dexter's first time actually teaming at a proper show.
Are you sporting the wrestling gear this weekend? Or are you still in? Are you cool?
Yeah, I think I'll be. Well, I have plain tights
Right,
that I bought.
but no longer like the Indiana Jones helper look.
No, I almost
Dr.
brought.
Jones.
I did almost bring the bag back for. I was in Tennessee this weekend. And I almost had a match, and I was going to bring the bag back for that.
You should keep really, especially if you're going to Tennessee and wrestling with Sarge. You need to keep weird things in there, like a hand.
Oh, dude,
a vibrator.
So just borrow it from
For real.
Sarge.
Yeah,
So-
he's got everything ready.
It's not
going
going to be weird.
There's a fan at EIW. I was at EIW this weekend. This is the show that Sarge works at, and it is a different world than what we're used to. There's backstage. He has a bunch of these posters that these fans have made. That's like Sarge, it burns when I pee, and like Sarge makes me walk bow-legged. There was no, you don't even know the half of it. So there was one to the same fan Saturday night. It was the sign was Sarge on Viagra, and it was a long balloon that was half inflated and it was flopping down. Shit's crazy. Or no, this shit is bananas. BANANAS. Yeah. But yeah, no.
So Stride is this weekend.
Yeah.
Much more family friendly.
Much more family friendly. And kids love Sarge. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. There was
Too much.
The main event's going to be Chris Hargis and Tony Flood versus Axe Allwart and Heath Hatton.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun match too.
And this is at the new
The
New Stride location.
New Stride Center in Carterville, Missouri.
Illinois.
Carterville, Illinois.
Jesus, go to bed.
Dear Lord, buddy.
Just go to bed. All right, we're going to get out of here. Last thing before we leave, the polls did go up today for CCW's 2018 End of the Year Awards. You can go to CCW's Facebook page and find the link there. Two things to remember. One, you do have to have a Google account to be able to vote.
Which is free?
It's free, and apparently as a guy that has a Hotmail account, I've been told many times that I need to have a Google account because no one uses the Hotmail anymore.
And you also very much likely have one if you have a YouTube account or use Gmail. That's the account you're going to use.
Right. And the other thing is, so we've had a little bit of confusion on this. A lot of people have been voting, which is great, but
Type in a damn name.
Yeah, we need you. So the thing was, we couldn't decide on Wrestler of the Year nominees because there's too many good ones. So write in your own damn CCW wrestler. But the point is you have to write it in.
Right.
Dalton
Do not leave it blank, Dalton Anthony. Oh,
Dalton
damn
Anthony.
It.
Dolphin.
That counts for me too.
Dolphin Anthony. Oh yeah, we can't wait to see some of the spellings. All right.
If I get 2 votes, I'll be happy.
Asa, 2018 votes, Facebook page. Hit us with those links.
Yeah, so facebook.com/ Well, go to you can search Cape Championship Wrestling because I don't remember what the URL for them is. That right off the top of my head. I do know Facebook.com/Podzilla1985. If you are one of the people who has reached out to us in the last couple weeks to let us know who you are and how you found us, thank you so much. We love that. We're apparently we're huge in Texas, and we've had a handful of people actually reach out and let us know that they're out there and how they found us. So keep those coming. We appreciate that. We love hearing from you guys. Also, give us a like and share us to some of your friends if you think they like this nonsense that we spew. Facebook.com/Podzilla1985. Patreon.com/Podzilla1985. For just $1, you get every pre-show that we record before every single show that we do for the month. They are incredibly funny. It's us at I think our best. Because we're relaxed and we're just kind of
having fun.
Yeah, we're just having fun.
Nuts.
I was on some special. I was on my A game today. I would say this pre-show alone is worth $1, and then you get all these other pre-shows as bonus. And
I
then,
hate you.
So Patreon.com/Podzilla1985 as well as Podzilla1985.com. You can listen to any of the older episodes that we've done. Go back and listen to prediction shows and see how laughably wrong we were about how things are going to turn out in the world of wrestling.
Or how right we are and how we don't want to be. It's the other side of that.
So,
all right.
That's it. Also, stay tuned for some fun stuff that we've got planned. Smash is
legitimately fun.
Smash is coming out this Friday, and the world is not ready.
No.
Shannon is not ready.
The hype behind
Canada is not ready.
Oh, Canada. We'll deal with Canada later. Right now, me and you, eye to eye. Next week, we'll announce it. We don't know when it's going to be. Asa Gray and myself are going one-on-one Mono Asa versus each other in Smash Brothers, and I can't wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun or terrible. Tomorrow,
squash match of the century.
We have Podzilla After Dark. It'll be a lot of fun. Until then, make sure you guys go vote in that CCW End of the Year Awards. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Later.